This is hidden in plain view, just like the troops grow the opium in Afghanistan and ship it out. This is all a giant joke. Decriminalize it all now across the board. The crime will implode. The crime rates will go way down. Yeah, the criminals will start moving on to other things, but they're already doing that. The cartels are already expanding kidnapping and extortion. And the answer to that is the Second Amendment. Anybody tries to extort you or rob you, kill them. The answer is arm the Mexican people to protect themselves. The answer is freedom, not less of it. This nightmare developed in a neo-feudal system that grew out of an ancient feudal system in Mesoamerica, then under the Spanish Empire, then under Maximilian and the Austrian-Hungarian Empire. It is a nightmare state down there with good, hardworking people in it, but the government and the overall culture has a huge streak of pure wickedness in it, and it's melded with these big mega banks, and they're planning to use the crisis, here's the rest of the story, to bring in their North American Union Security Prosperity Partnership and their continental security perimeter. 4 years ago in Endgame, we covered the fact that they would use a huge drug war in Mexico and revolution as a way to merge the countries. Now the federal government and Rick Perry and others are calling for the U.S. military to invade Mexico to, quote, fix all this. That'll just open up a new Vietnam-style front. 40,000+ dead in just the last 3 years. That's way over the yearly death totals in Vietnam, which was 58,000 over 10 years. We're talking 40,000+ in just 3 years. I mean, this is a big issue. And I was covering this years ago, and you couldn't get the media to even cover it. So this is how they're going to set up their whole North American Union, is through this crisis. They just wanted to be able to organize the crisis and blame it on the Second Amendment. So the victory here is we exposed this fraud and blew it wide open. The problem is they've gone ahead with the executive level gun control against the gun shops outside of law that we've covered here. So it's a very sophisticated issue, but this goes right through the entire narco-terrorist, kleptocracy, private Federal Reserve government that we have here in this country.
Yeah, I agree, Alex. And we covered last night the Merida initiative that was set up officially in 2007, right at the same time as Endgame, as you point out. And that set up the whole pretext of the Mexican drug gangs and the, quote, illegal flow of weapons as a pretext for this larger North American Union agenda, Alex. And you've got Calderon and Obama speaking about it at the SPP summits as far back as 2009. But
and they're not going to stop there. Please continue, Aaron. They also say they'll use economic crisis, drugs and guns, or the flu, or other bioweapon. So they'll just move on to the other tools now, but the jig is up. Notice when they staged this Iran thing last week and said we're going to war with them, and lied and said this guy was doing all this stuff out of Corpus Christi, Texas. Within a day, hundreds of analysts came out and said it was fake. No one buys what they say anymore. No one buys that they really killed bin Laden and threw him in the ocean with the Easter Bunny. I'm sorry, go back to your points.
Well, that's just it. It's outlined in the Merida Initiative and the actual SPP documents that they're going to use this to merge, as you point out also on the radio, the law enforcement, using the military and the border agents and all of it to make it one big border zone.
Exactly. That's why we've had and extended the deadline on it, because we didn't organize it very well. I didn't. The Alex Jones prediction contest. Because nothing wakes up brain-dead sheeple like seeing me say something 5 years before it happens. And we need to show them, hey, it was always hidden in plain view about this. I don't have a crystal ball. I'm nothing special. I'm not a naive sucker schmuck, though. Our naivete doesn't protect us from evil. It allows it to grow. And it's time to stop being naive. So call all the talk radio stations. We need articles written about this. Get this video out to everybody you know and point out Fast and Furious is the tip of the iceberg. Fast and Furious could bring down the globalist. It could bring down the entire narco-terrorist drug-dealing state. In the information age, they can't even hide the fact that the government ships in the opium. So now they just publicly say the troops grow it, but that's okay. I mean, the CIA aircraft crashing full of pure cocaine from the source. They've got Homeland Security boats right here where I'm at going out every day picking the drugs up. I've talked to locals. It's like an 18-wheeler, trains here. It's all hidden in plain view. And then when the dumb public uses it, they throw you in the prisons owned by the big banks that launder the drug money. I mean, this is a globalist tax. So stop using illegal narcotics. Stop using Prozac over the counter or prescription. Stop using all their crap ladies and gentlemen. Get off all of it. Defeat them. Get healthy. Get out of their system. Now is the time. It's a joke. It's not cool to use drugs. It's shipped in by the globalists to enslave you. This is how modern slavery works. They put an addictive substance out and push it on you. They have Hollywood sell it like it's sexy and cool because it's illegal. There's money associated with it. So disenfranchised people go for it. Then they put the poor in prisons for small amounts. They come out 10 years later with a college degree in crime, and it creates a crime society. This is how the globalists have demoralized us and destroyed us. It was all done systematically. It was always planned by these people. They knew exactly what they were doing, and they got gullible moralists and condescending know-it-alls to play along with it who don't have full spectrum analysis, understanding of the situation we're facing. And it's now coming down to the end game, and it's so transparent. It's 100% clear in our face, and it's over. The joke is over. The condescending government wanting to search our cars at checkpoints for drugs is a joke. These are the drug dealers. These are the slave masters who put the substance out there and then hope they can catch you with it because they have a law making you a slave for 5 to 10 years in their private factory, their prison factory, if they catch you with what they put out on the ground. I mean, do you see the total setup of this? This is how they continue slavery. This is slavery. This is modern slavery. And it's just coming out that the government is really a bunch of gangster narcotics traffickers. And they've moved into child kidnapping. They've got the CPS running around, run by DynCorp, that runs child kidnapping worldwide, and have been caught over and over again. It's so much more horrible than anybody can imagine because we think it's red, white, and blue and America's good. And Mexico's corrupt. No, Mexico's just got people so poor, they're fighting to the death over this money instead of having a real economy. I saw a USA Today article, San Antonio Express News yesterday, where it said drug business helps Texas economy. That's just an article about how drugs are helping us. I mean, it's so sick. No, it's not helping us. It sucks everything out of the real economy. It's incredible. Listen, Aaron, there's a lot of other news you covered today. Great job. I know tomorrow on the radio you're going to be filling in, and I should call in for a segment or two as well. You've got some big guests coming up as well. But here's an article at Infowars.com. Government front group vows to abolish critical thinking, and it's a literal admitted Marxist group with government funding teaching kids to only trust mainstream media and don't trust alternative media. I mean, it's just total brainwashing. It's all what Cass Sunstein talked about. It's just getting crazier and crazier, Aaron. Any comments here?
Yeah, the Cass Sunstein thing. He openly admitted that he wanted the government units to infiltrate conspiracy theorists, to undermine them. And now they have front groups here in the BBC in the UK trying to convince children not to believe what they see on the internet and to only believe what little petty power tripping teachers tell them and those who go along with the government propaganda, Alex.
But this is the last desperate act of people that are being rendered obsolete. This is only going to make the children research more. What they should be saying is don't trust anything until you've verified it and researched it for yourself. But they're afraid of the children opening up into that wider world. Who was it? Socrates? Which Greek philosopher was it who was thrown off the cliff, who was executed for corrupting the young? Guys, look up Greek philosopher who was Aristotle, yeah. Did they make him drink poison or did they throw him off a cliff? I know they killed a bunch of them. You know, we think of the Greeks. Yeah, poison. I know they killed another one throwing him off the cliff for that, for corrupting the young, they said. He was like, don't trust the mainstream media, don't trust the... So they killed him. I mean, this stuff is just ongoing. All right. Well, Aaron, I appreciate the incredible job you've done while I've been reporting on the road down here. The YouTube hasn't shut our channel down. We showed the Federal Reserve's request to pull the video down, but sometimes it takes them longer to pull something down, so we're not out of the woods yet on that, but that's certainly become a big story, and it caused a Streisand effect. Whenever they tried to pull the video down where they admit the Federal Reserve's private and has only caused it to get hundreds of thousands more views than it would have. And, of course, you know what the Streisand effect is, right, guys?
No, I'm not familiar, Alex.
Remember 3 years ago, they can put it on screen, just Google the Streisand effect. She's this big liberal who wants to tax the rich and everything, but she's got this giant palace that looks like it's something at Versailles or a Rothschild palace or Buckingham Palace. there on the seacoast, and she tried to suppress photos of her home in the media, saying it was privacy. Well, the inside of your house is private, but not the facade of it. And it caused a lot more attention and the Streisand effect.
Methinks you doth protest too much.
Methinks you protest too much. Exactly. I guess that's Macbeth, isn't it? But look, that's why the globalists don't want to kill me. They want to kill me politically. They want to kill my name. They want to demonize me with their COINTELPRO, their operatives attacking me 24/7 from every political angle, as Cass Sunstein said they would, because I'm here telling people they have power, showing them they have power, showing them history, showing them just how deep the evil goes so that they can really get incensed and wake up. So the system is trying to assassinate who I am individually, but they cannot assassinate the ideas. And because I'm willing to be assassinated politically and my name to be assassinated, it doesn't matter because the message gets out and in the end defeats them. And people more and more are developing a palate or a taste and understanding of what's happening, and they see the giant attack as the confirmation of the fact that our works are good, our fruit is good. They understand that. And that's why so many more people are supporting Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com and spreading the word about what we're doing. And folks know if the globalists kill me, it will only cause a Streisand effect. It will underline, highlight, add 50 exclamation points, as I say, behind everything I do. I did have a call today, by the way, Aaron, we're going to follow up on. And I need to ask Dew if he saw any of this. We're like 400 people there. And this fellow, Robert, I have his full name and number now. He says he has witnesses that are going to do a video and go to the Dallas police. A guy showed up and said, throw this canister at the Federal Reserve and activate it with his cell phone if you're mad at him. And then he refused to do it. So the guy started threatening him, saying he was going to, beat him up. And then the guy said, well, I'll fight you. Then the guy ran off and is now calling Robert's cell phone, threatening him. Definitely a Fed. I mean, that is right out of central casting. So we're going to see more and more of this, folks. We need your prayers. We need your support because we are going right at the enemy here. I mean, we are really stepping it up to a new level.
Well, all those things you said also go back to Cass Sunstein, a top government think tank advisor. And the whole point of his paper on conspiracy theories, Alex, is admitting the effect that alternative information has, that it could take down and challenge the establishment. That is the reason they're so desperate to undermine, quote, conspiracy theorists, or really anyone thinking outside of the spoon-fed reality we're told. That's why you see provocateurs. That's why you see them going to blogs and message boards, Alex.
You see the Pentagon saying they're online attacking him. You see the Federal Reserve saying they're tracking everything in cyberspace and making an enemies list. The White House is. Paul Watson says a BBC News report reflects the group's panic, the government panic at conspiracy theories, i.e. any critical thought that questions the official consensus being brought into the classroom, brainwashing the children. We have state-run schools worldwide now in the West. I mean, what a joke. That's just fundamentally dangerous, centralized, federalized, forced inoculation, brainwashing centers. They're now going in and shooting the kids up without parental consent in California. The tyranny is here. It's happening. And now I'm seeing reports everywhere. We're having a view. Like if you say, I like my meat rare instead of medium, that's a conspiracy if they want you to have it medium. I mean, people don't want to go through a checkpoint. They go, oh, you're a conspiracy theorist. If you don't like war, you're a conspiracy theorist. They've now moved it to not just unorthodox information, but having your own political view. You're not allowed to hold that. That's a conspiracy theory. Having an individual spirit, an individual position, your own intellect, that is now a crime. That is now sacrilege. That is now a thought crime. I mean, this is insane. This is like O'Brien torturing Winston in 1984, and he says we could suspend the laws of gravity if we wanted to. And our scientists could come up with some baloney for that. And he said we'll have, other sciences that actually have gravity so we can, navigate ships, but the public will still believe there's no gravity. And Winston's like, oh, my God, I see. And he's like, yes, you're right. I mean, they are tearing the minds apart right now.
Yeah, it's the same as the quote of Jim Garrison in the JFK movie. That, a bunch of fancy white coat scientists could prove that one bullet could theoretically, cause all those wounds, but what does common sense show? That's what it's all about at the end of the day.
Well, look, the elite are are getting into their own supply of BS here. I mean, they're destroying society. They're creating a civilization wrecking system. It's one thing to rationalize globalism and post-industrial world and how they're going to consolidate total power and change our civilization.